Besides those that are here to be honored for scholarship and their families, I believe we have one guest at my table back there. Tom, would you reintroduce our guest? Hi, Dan. Nice to meet you, Dan. There we go. And is a prospective member, I hear. So welcome, Dan. We're glad you're here. I do not have any family of Rotary announcements unless others do. If you do, please let me know. Any births, marriages, deaths, etc. Okay. I do want to thank each and every one of you who participated in the Strawberry Festival this year. Last Saturday, we had a steady stream of people buying desserts and helping to support childcare in our area, which is great. I do not have the final numbers yet, but I do have a few in primary numbers. 412 dessert tickets were turned in, and a total of about 635 items sold by cash. So we sold over 1,000 strawberry desserts that day. So I will update you all on what that means between sponsorships and in-kind donations next week, hopefully. This coming Saturday is Valley Fest. This is a brand new event for Rotary. We're taking over from the Chamber. Over at Massanutten, every dollar above what we need, the expenses that we have, goes again to childcare. So if you're in the mood for a beer or a wine or some great music or great scenery, buy a ticket and head to Massanutten on Saturday. And please continue to record your service hours on the Google Sheet that is linked with the rotograph each week that Michael sends out. For those of you who did the Strawberry Festival, please get those in. Many hours served between our club and the other clubs in the area. Before I turn it over to our program, are there any other announcements that I am forgetting? Wayne or anybody? No? Oh, June 16th. Thank you. I knew that look. You didn't even have to say it, Wayne. June 16th is our centennial event from 6 to 8 p.m. at Bluestone Vineyard. You will get an invitation this week, and please RSVP to that. The pandemic has really stifled the major events that we had planned, but we do hope to celebrate together 100 years of serving here in Harrisonburg and Rockingham. This particular program is a special one for me as somebody who strives to raise money to make college more affordable. And so I am delighted that Rotary provides these scholarships to the best and the brightest in our area. And so without further ado, I would like to welcome Sue Toddy and Mike Mendez to the stage to begin our presentations. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Sue Toddy, and very much like Braden said, this is indeed one of my favorite programs of the year. Not just because I chair the committee with wonderful folks to work with, but I think it's such a wonderful opportunity to be able to read about all the wonderful things that our students in the city and county schools are doing. And so I'm feel privileged to be here to be able to recognize the students that are recipients of our scholarships this year. Rotary is a global network of over 1 million neighbors, friends, leaders, all across the world. Rotary members believe that we have a shared responsibility to take action on our world's most persistent issues. We have over 35,000 clubs around the world, and they work to promote peace, fight disease like polio, provide clean water, sanitation and hygiene, save mothers, and educate children in little communities and cities around the world. Our motto is service above self. And since 1992, the Rotary Club of Harrisonburg has been awarding scholarships to recognize outstanding students in our area schools who have demonstrated a commitment of their time and leadership to serve their school and community. Today, we are awarding a total of $15,000 in scholarships. But I think even more, as this is the 30th year we've been giving scholarships, and this club has given out $342,000. And I think that says a lot about our club's membership.
Our club puts our money where our hearts are. Our scholarships reward students whose actions show they live the Rotary motto of service above self. All 6 area high schools and Macedon Technical Center begin collecting applications for the scholarships in early February. And we ask all schools to narrow down the applicants to their top 4 candidates. We received a total of 25 applications from some very outstanding students, and the scholarship committee members individually scored each one using the following criteria. 60% of the score was community service, including school-related activities, the quantity and quality of service, including leadership and depth of their commitment. The remaining 40% was from the essays that the students wrote, financial need, and overall committee member impressions. The 8 college-bound seniors who will receive scholarships have volunteered over 5,000 hours of community service during their high school years. That's amazing. We met as a group and ranked all students within their high school. We then ranked these students collectively as a group to determine the top students overall, as well as the amount of the scholarships to be rewarded. I'd like to recognize and thank the members of the committee who put in all the hours to review the applications and select this year's recipients. Those committee members are Lynn Dively, John Downey, Ash Heatwool, Whit Crum, Tom Mendez, Andrew Miller, Robin Newpower, Sue Toddy, and myself, Mike Mendez.
At this time, we're going to recognize each of our 2022 scholarship recipients. A Rotarian will introduce themselves and one or more of the students from the school they're representing. We will also acknowledge the parents and the school representatives who are here to celebrate with them. We'll go alphabetically by high school, beginning with Broadway High School. And this year's recipient is Marshall Rao. And Marshall was, should I say, selected because of good performance on his local tennis games. And he is competing in the regional tennis tournaments in Lynchburg today. So he is not able to be here with us at the program today. So I will ask Andrew Miller to come forward with.
Good afternoon. My name is Andy Miller, and I'm here with Miriam Rhodes and Miriam's parents, Jason and Laura Rhodes. She's at Eastern Mennonite High School. Jody Nisley Hertzler is guidance counselor, and Paul Lehman is head of school. They're both here with us today too. Miriam plans to attend EMU and major in music and peace building. When I asked her about what her career aspirations we came up with the slogan of making a difference in our community through her music and commitment to peace building. Several highlights in her application about her service include leadership within a number of activities with We Serve, a student organization at EMHS. And I would also note her performance and teaching of music in a variety of locations as things that made her application stand out. Please join me in congratulating Miriam Rhodes from Eastern Mennonite High School.
Next, I'd like to have John Downey come to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Karina Peachy. You may recognize her from several events at Rotary. She was the East Rock High School Ethics Award winner, as well as she spoke to us a couple of weeks ago, one of the students from the Governor's School. Karina is joined by her parents, Andrew and Janina Peachy. and guidance counselor Jimmy Miller. She is interested in going on to UVA and majoring in biomedical engineering. And she wants to solve problems through engineering, problems like diabetes, which interest me as the father of a diabetic. She volunteers at East Elkton Area United Services Thrift Store and several other church and school volunteer organizations and mission trips, and also works at Massanutten Ski Lodge and as a nanny. So congratulations, Karina. Thank you.
Next, I'll have Tom Mendez come up to the podium.
Welcome. It is my incredible honor to introduce two phenomenal ladies to help. They are both from Harrisonburg High School. They are also regional governor schools. Their GPAs are 4 point some number. And they're both in the top 10 in their class of over 450. So incredible ladies that will do well. The first person I'm going to introduce is Catherine Kerwin. She is here with her parents, Daniel and Kristen Kerwin, and a school counselor extraordinaire, Victoria Weiss. We thank you for being here to celebrate. Catherine is many things. She's going to be a phenomenal person and has been. She's the captain of the varsity debate club, captain of the varsity cross country, captain of the varsity indoor and outdoor track and field. She has, during her high school, volunteered at the Children's Museum, the food pantry at her church. And during COVID, she volunteered to ensure that students still got meals as part of the schools providing meals distribution for students. She is the elementary school outreach officer of the STEM Academy. And during COVID, felt there was a need to ensure students still get to learn. In fact, I think in her scholarship, she said, "Mom, we get to do science at home!" Exclamation point, something like that, right? She and her committee created over 300 at-home science packets and created some online virtual events to do water cycle in a bag projects. She will be pursuing a 4-year degree at the University of Notre Dame, studying the intersection of environmental science and social justice. So I think if you know Erin Brockovich, she is going to be a great advocate for marginalized communities in the field of environmental policy. Please join me in congratulating Catherine Kerwin. The second student is Jesslyn Liu. We are pleased to have her parents Wilson Liu and Ying Hao, as well as our school counselor. It would be appropriate to refer to Jesslyn as Madam President. She is the president of the Harrisonburg High School Key Club, the Harrisonburg Interact Club, and president of the National Honor Society. She is the treasurer of the Tri-M Music Honor Society, that is typically for band, choral, and drama. But I'm going to suggest to you that Tri-M for her is math, music, and mentor. She has been the drum major and led the high school band to multiple grand championships, captain of the varsity tennis and had regional titles, a delegate to the Model United Nations where she won local, state, and international titles, a Virginia Girls State where she was the mayor, and a participant, as if school wasn't enough, during a summer residential governor's school for the humanities. In addition to over 4,000 hours of music and academic activities, Jesslyn has performed over 1,900 hours of volunteer service. She's the founder and president of a tutoring club and mentored middle school band students in virtual learning. You know how terrible sometimes middle school students sound with instruments, let alone all of them playing by themselves online at the same time. I give her phenomenal props for that. She is going to be heading to Harvard in the fall with her hopes of becoming a lawyer. So please join me in congratulating Jessalyn.
So I'd like to have Robin Newpower come to the podium.
There, it's my honor to be able to introduce to everyone. Oh, my husband's signaling and saying, you need to get that mic down there where we can hear you. It's my honor to introduce to everybody Rachel Cron, who is joining us from Massanutten Technical College. She has brought along her parents, Kevin and Patty Cron, and also we have with us the director of Massanutten Technical College, Kevin Hunton, sorry. So I would hope that we can acknowledge their contributions to Rachel's success because it has been truly phenomenal. Rachel is very involved in a lot of activities. I won't try and list them all. We have too pressed for time, but a couple of things that really stood out from her application are that she's been very heavily involved in 4-H and in Future Farmers of America and has led both organizations. In fact, she's the Federation president for Future Farmers of America, which means that she has regional responsibilities. She oversees the Future Farmers for several schools. So I'm very proud of that. In 4-H, she actually worked with mentoring younger students. And she said when she started with that she didn't enjoy working with young children, but has come to enjoy it through doing that work. So she has more than 670 hours of community service in addition to all the time that she put into a lot of different activities in her school. So please join me in congratulating Rachel.
At this time, I'd like to announce the award recipient from Spotswood High School. Boris, come on up. It's my pleasure to announce our next award recipient, Boris Nakashian. He's joined today by his parents, Sergei Nakashian, and his mother, Lydia Gutnikova, and the school counselor from Spotswood, Lynn Brigman. So thank you for joining us. Boris Nakashian plans to attend UVA to major in biology and minor in data science, with his hopes to become a physician or doctor, hopefully in neurology or psychiatry one day. Boris and his family came from Uzbekistan about 7 years ago and knew 50 words of English. Is that right? Just 7 years ago. So it's a testament to Boris, how far and how great you are as a person and as a student and a learner. So, Boris spent his freshman year at Spotswood High School and moved to Georgia for sophomore and for mental health and the environment voting right month. So Boris also spent time on via Skype tutoring students in tutoring English to underprivileged students. Boris obviously is a tremendous asset here to the community. We're glad to have you here. So please join me in congratulating Boris from Spotswood High School.
Next, we'll have Ash Heatwall come forward.
Good afternoon. I'm Ash Heatwall. As a former Turner Ashby graduate, it's a great honor to announce this year's scholarship award for my alma mater. This year's recipient from Turner Ashby is Leah Karakoff. Leah is joined by her parents, Jeremy and Sarah, as well as Phil Judd, who is the principal at Turner Ashby. Leah's application is clearly overflowing with all of the defined distinctions and accolades that Leah has not only obtained through her diligence in the classroom, but also through her hard work outside of school and in the community. In addition to her academic success as a student, Leah's time at Turner Ashby has been a living testament to the Rotary motto of service above self, as Leah has shown through her commitment not only as a student and an athlete, but as an upstanding member of her community, whether through extracurriculars such as the FFA or the myriad of service opportunities she has intentionally pursued in her own time, including volunteering as a teacher's assistant at a local elementary school, as well as countless hours being contributed to her church. Her deliberate dedication to serve underpins the inexorable truth that the best way to make a difference for those around you is to simply invest your time and your energy in the activities, people, and causes that you believe in. This year, Leah will be attending Bridgewater College, majoring in biology and pre-vet studies, so taking the circuitous route away from the farm to academia and perhaps back to the farming environment when it's all said and done. By serving your community and your school, Leah, you have demonstrated the qualities of Rotary International and the four-way test, and it gives me great privilege to share that you are Turner Ashby's recipient of the Rotary Club of Harrisonburg Student Scholarship. Please join me in applauding Leah. Thank you.
Well, I think with the little Cliff Note versions of applicants and their the kinds of things they've done, you can see that we have some outstanding students that we've selected as recipients for our scholarships this year. So I want you to just one time as a full group, let's do a congratulations to all. And although we'd love to allow time for every student to be able to present to us, since as always, we're limited with our time here at our Rotary meetings, we have selected 3 students to be able to give you a little snapshot of some meaningful aspect of their community service experience. And so I would like first to come up to the podium, Boris Nakachian. He'll be followed by Karina Peachy, and then we'll hear from Jesslyn Lee.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Boris Nakashian, and this is a snapshot of my service about self experience. So at the end of the freshman year at Spotswood High School, I found out that we were moving to Georgia due to family circumstances. Apart from hearing the well-known phrase, Georgia is a peach state, I knew nothing about Georgia, nor imagined how it would impact my life. As a new student in suburban Georgia, I entered my school's club fair and noticed students running and pitching their clubs and events to new members. And one student in particular offered me a brochure about the student council. The engaging environment of the fair ignited my spirit to explore more tables. And to say the least, within minutes of entering the club fair, I was carrying a dozen of brochures. While my school's energetic spirit inspired everyone to participate, including the small sophomore Boris, the lively atmosphere dissipated when we entered the global pandemic and virtual learning. Furthermore, new students like me couldn't stay involved, inhibiting the collaborative spirit. The pandemic hugely devastated me because the club fair during the school year and the students running it ignited a spark that motivated me to be involved and care for my community. And I wish to reconnect the spark and bridge the virtual divide by starting a newspaper, the Wildcat Gazette. From my outside perspective, I developed Gazette to support 3,000 students with engaging trivia, positive affirmations, and senior interviews. We developed programs to engage readers and spread awareness about school events. On top of bi-weekly article releases featuring student organizations interviews, we created something called event cards to share information with students on Instagram and Facebook easily. When designing all programs, I only wish that we would replicate the engaging spirit I once felt during the physical club fair. Through digital programs like event cards, it became easier to mass share and inform the student body of all activities, prompting them to sign up, connect, and stay motivated. Through Gazette, I learned that your service about self project doesn't just have to light a spark within you, but can also translate to a broader community. Personally, I have a strong desire to ensure that all students in my school were aware of the events that they would have otherwise missed due to lack of communication. I use my inner spark as a model to connect to my school in Georgia and help others do as well. Upon moving back to Virginia my senior year, my spark for connection and opportunity has not diminished a tiny bit. I now hope that at the end of today's lunch, all of you will feel hopeful and encouraged to keep the spark burning within yourselves and others. Who knows, but maybe one day someone might enter a fair or an event where you inspire them to do something amazing. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you to the Harrisonburg Rotary Club for the amazing scholarship opportunity and for the chance to attend this meeting. My name is Karina Peachy, and I just graduated last week from Lord Fairfax Community College with my associate's degree, and I will graduate from East Rockingham High School and Massanutten Regional Governor's School in late June. I will plan to attend the School of Engineering and Applied Science at the University of Virginia, and I'm going to study biomedical engineering in the fall. In my essay regarding the Rotarian value of service above self, I discussed my love for the local organization Elkton Area United Services. I am a regular at their thrift store, Thrift at Heart in Elkton, and value their contributions to my community. They are a group that provides help in time of trouble and gives wholeheartedly to the people of Elkton through their very inexpensive thrift stores where I like to find most of my clothes, their food pantry, their medical bill assistance, and education assistance, such as their GED programs. EAUS and all of their volunteers truly exhibit service above self. They put their neighbors first and help with open arms. When I heard that EAUS needed help with the manual labor of moving buildings this past summer, I jumped on the opportunity. Along with some of my friends, we moved countless boxes and large pieces of furniture from one building to the next. One building that was filled with Christmas supplies to the next building that soon became filled with Christmas supplies. This was a small way to give back to the place that gives so much, and it was very special to be a part of. As I moved to Charlottesville to attend UVA, I want to continue to serve in my newfound community. I want to put my skills in science and math to use and allow my passions to drive my life of service. I want to be an advocate in the medical world for those who cannot be their own advocate. I want to join organizations that help locals get access to medical care. Through my undergraduate career, I'm making it my goal to study biomedical engineering and further my understanding of scientific thought and exploration. And by doing this, I will gain skills that allow me to solve important issues in the medical world, such as with type 1 and 2 diabetes. This scholarship presents me with the opportunity to achieve this education and all of the experiences that college will bring with much less of a financial barrier. I thoroughly appreciate all of your generosity, and I'm excited to continue to share how your scholarship will help in the next years. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessalyn Liu, and I am a senior at Harrisonburg High School. I would like to first off thank the Harrisonburg Rotary Club for this opportunity and to be able to stand in front of you all today. After experiencing the impacts virtual learning had on both my academics and my ability to socialize in the previous school year, I decided that I had to do something about the isolation my classmates and I endured every day. Having had previous experience tutoring for an NGO called the COVID-19 Project, I knew how much daily social interactions and structured activities could help create normality. After learning that there was, in fact, no tutoring program at my school at the time, I made it my goal to create one from scratch. A year and hundreds of emails later, I sit across from a student explaining the law of cosines for the third time. Our story graces the school newspaper with all kinds of appreciative comments, but little do they know that these people I so selflessly looked out for were my and many others' light at the end of the dark and lonely tunnel. Through the 50+ students that come through the club doors every week, I learned that through my actions, I could help change an unfortunate situation for the better. I don't have to wait for other people's solutions. I can be the one to create them. The COVID-19 pandemic did much more than just force me to stay at home. It taught me that if I chose to, I could have a say in how much injustice was in the world. From helping all kinds of people through the nonprofits I joined, to pioneering a mentorship program for the middle school band students navigating virtual learning, I, a drop of water in the big blue ocean, could change the way people were treated. No matter how big or how small, I had become a part of the change, spurred by the knowledge that I could make society a better place for the people around me. My passion for service will continue to burn strong throughout my next 4 years at Harvard University, where I plan on studying a concentration in the social sciences field and for the rest of my life, as I have learned firsthand that as long as I act on what I believe in, I will be able to change lives for the better.
It's amazing. Thank you. So if we continue to hear from all of these amazing high school students, you would be impressed with their work in soup kitchens to food pantries, mission trips across the globe, Eagle Scout projects, and volunteer service with youth, senior groups, and everyone in between. As Rotarians who live by the motto, service above self, we want to thank each of you students and encourage you to continue to make community service a regular part of your lives. You have an open invitation to join our club after college or any Rotary Club worldwide. Let's recognize these 8 young men and women for setting the bar high and representing their schools and community well. Today, more than ever, it's important to be great role models and citizens. Let's also recognize their parents and family members for guiding them through their lives and encouraging these students to live exemplary lives. And to our school representatives, please go back to your schools and convey our thanks. Our club's sincere appreciation for the club, for your work, your collective work of your student bodies. It's critical that we instill an expectation in our youth of serving their community in whatever way they can. We encourage you to identify service-minded juniors and sophomores and make sure that they know local scholarships are available to recognize and reward their community service.
As I said earlier, we'll be giving a total of $15,000 in scholarships this year. Every student receives at least $1,000 to use towards their freshman year in college. But to conclude our program, I'd like to announce our top 4 recipients. This year we had a tie in 3rd place with scholarships of $2,000 going to Catherine Kerwin from Harrisonburg High School and Boris Nakashian from Spotswood High School. Please stand. Our 2nd place recipient receiving a scholarship of $3,000 is Karina Peachy from East Rockingham High School. And our club's top service above self scholarship in the amount of $4,000 goes to Jesselyn Liu of Harrisonburg High School. I want to say thank you once again to the members of our scholarship committee, and a special thank you to Tom Mendez. He is transitioning from a 24-year, and he would say possibly life sentence on the scholarship committee. He is the data spreadsheet guru. And when I agreed to be co-chair, I said, I'm good at logistics, but don't put me in that arena. And Tom has taken that lead and done a wonderful job for us. And so we couldn't have done all of this work without you, Tom. So I give a big thank you to you. But he is passing it on to his son, Mike. So I know once again, we will be in good hands to do this again next year and for many years to come. I also want to thank all of our wonderful Rotarians, because without your support and commitment to education and the lives of the children in our community, we wouldn't be able to do this. We started with some seed money, and we've had several campaigns to build up our scholarship endowment. And I think you should all feel very, very good about the money we have set aside to be able to provide scholarships to our students. And then to all of these wonderful students who are making a difference in our community, and as we know, will go on to make a big difference in our world. I want to thank you all for coming today. And we'd like to get a group picture with our recipients afterwards, so I'll have them come up here. And I will, do you have anything more to add, Brayden? All right, then I will adjourn our meeting for today. Thanks again.